Welcome to 23rd Garage. Today we are back on the Porsche Cayenne. We have a lot of stuff we have to do today, so we have to kind of hustle. We actually have to strip the front end back apart. We have to trim out the hood. We have to fix the little bodywork here on the fenders. And then also we need to strip all the plasti dip off the vehicle, and Paul wants to paint the trims. I believe he is going to be painting them a high gloss black, which I think is a very good choice since he's got the gloss black rims, which, you know, it's going to look very good. What we need to do is go ahead and remove the hood and the front bumper as well as the headlights. Lights on too. All right, so Paul decided that we are going to go ahead and strip all the plasti dip off first because he is going to want to strip the doors down to get them ready for paint. And while he does that, I'll knock out the bodywork on the fender. And so to get this done efficiently as possible, we need to probably do all the stripping of the plasti dip first. That way we don't get this wet while we're working on it.
Right, right.
All right, so unfortunately we could not get all of the areas with the power washer. It's just way too powerful.
Sir, I think you have a problem here, sir. I got you.
Sir, where is your steering rod? Yeah, let me give you a little push. Down with your feet, man. Yo, this thing literally turned right and left at the same time. All right, good right there. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've put down a very, very light mist of this automotive primer, series self-etching, maximum adhesion, corrosion resistance, ideal for bare metal, aluminum, fiberglass, interior and exterior. And what that is going to do is give me a guide coat. When I go to start with my initial sand, I'm going to use a 180. And the reason why I'm going to use a 180 is because we want to feather all the paint in with the areas that will be will have Bondo on them, or body filler, sorry. Bondo is a brand, not a type of stuff. But anyway, so once I sand all this down with the 180, the primer will be sanded away in all the areas that are flat or high, and then the areas that are too low will show up because the primer obviously will not be able to get sanded out of there. I know I have a high spot here already, but I'm gonna show you guys how this stuff actually works, how this little technique works. So basically the 180, you wanna go up to about, like, so if you know you're gonna put body filler right here, so you want a 180 about to right here, because you want to feather all the areas that will not receive any body filler. And so just basically go over it like this. And you always want to sand in one direction on an area like this because it is curved. It's got a very subtle curve to it, so you don't want to ever sand like that because you will put flat spots in it, and you want to kind of roll with the body line, or with the body shape.
Oh, and the high spot's already coming up right there.
Yes, you can see the high spot has already arrived. And it's white, so you're not gonna be able to see everything right away on it, because as we like to say in the business, white makes it right. So definitely have to use a bit of a guide coat. And etching primer is, I would say, the best thing to use, because if you use like a spray paint or something, it will gum up your sandpaper, but etching primer sands very good. As you guys can see, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, there's not really much showing up besides that one spot.
The little wave up here is, see right there, that's our low spot. So we'll have to come up all the way up to here. And you just want to stay in it, you know, you just want to stay in it. Circular motions keep the sandpaper from clogging up because you're dislodging everything that's getting stuck. Look at that.
Looks pretty good.
All right, so as you guys can see, here we have a high spot that needs to be tapped down just a bit. And then here is our low spot right here. And this fender was actually a lot worse, but as we pulled it, I don't know if you guys remember in the last video that we did on the framework on this car, when we pulled it, a lot of it came out. So it's not as bad as it was, but still needs some body filler. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my body hammer, tap that down, and then we'll surface this inside, get this bolt off, get this thing done. Check that out, guys. They've got it all primed in. It's looking absolutely perfect. Bodywork looks good. No scratches, no lines, no what's it called? No dirt or debris. Looks great. Looks good. Now what? Well, got to kind of explain to you guys what's been going on. So Nate stripped the front bumper down. We actually found damage on that we did not know about before. Check it out. Right here, so we have this little crack right here in this bumper, and then these two little vent flap thingamabobbers right here are broken off as well. And I hope I'm wrong, but I do suspect that this is the type of plastic that is not weldable. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to fix this. But hopefully I'm wrong and it's not, and it all welds back up. But I guess we'll see when we try to go to fix it. Nate has also been sanding the entire car, prepping it for paint. As you guys can see, we did not take off these moldings simply because I don't know how they come off, and since they're still on there, I guess
said they're on tape.
Okay, so they're on sticky tape. I think those can stay on there and he can paint those on the car. I do not think that's going to be a very big issue. But yeah, we're not painting this door, are we?
No.
Yeah, the door handles were kind of a pain in the butt to take off. They got some tiny little, like the smallest star bit I've ever seen in my life, but we got those off. So basically all this is ready, right, Nate?
Yeah, once we get back, we can pretty much put it in the booth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so I want to try to fix this front bumper here. And so the idea is to use this welding wire and this Nate's 1940s soldering iron, which is a beast, by the way. So what we are going to do is probably melt the wire in like right there, and then bend it in and melt it into here. So it ties it together, and then melt the wire down into the plastic. And I think that it will hold.
Right.
Take the air blower to it. Like that, and then boom. All right, so I've got two staples here in the bumper, and I need to let it cool down real good because it's got kind of hot, and when it gets really hot, it's hard to work with. Let me show you guys what we're working with back here. So as you can see, we've got some nice staples, which on this side, I'm going to also melt this in once it cools down real good and we have a lot of material on the top of it. So we'll let that sit around for a little bit. And in the meantime, Mark needs some help on a car he just bought. So he's gonna put it up on the rack real quick and we'll help him out with that. All right, so here's Mark's car. It's a 2016 Nissan Sentra. And at first glance, I thought it was clapped, but it just looks scary because of the way that this rebar got hit. It doesn't look like the rails are kinked anywhere. So what I'm going to do is weld on my scrap piece right here, right there into that crack, and then pull it out, and hopefully everything comes out. I'm even hoping to save these rail extensions. So let's get this thing welded on and see what happens.
Freaking China on it.
Oh, for real?
It's good stuff. I'm not the whole here. All she wrote. Sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so we got the rebar pulled out and we got the lower radiator support beam pulled out. And I have to say, it's not as bad as I originally thought it was. Mark is about to pull all this stuff off, so we'll get to see a little bit more of what's going on under there. But in all, I think he lucked out. You know, it's a nice car. It doesn't have any blown airbags. You know, it's the color is nice too. I really like the color. So this is a sigh of relief for Mark, I think, because there's nothing crazy going on under here, and we were even able to save these frame extensions, and that's like 65 bucks a pop right there. So I'm sure Mark will be really happy about that. But he's gonna go ahead and strip this thing off, and we are going to go back to the Porsche. All right, so we are ready to sand our primer here, and I'm going to dust a little bit of this etching primer on there just to give me a bit of a guide coat. That way I know where I've sanded and where I haven't. And also, if there's any kind of scratches or any kind of defects in the primer, it will show up instantly with the etch. So lightly, not to get it everywhere. We'll test it, good. Just like that. And this stuff sands very easily, so it's not going to affect the sanding. And we'll give it about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. All right, so I got this thing all sanded down and it feels really good. I'm really happy with how the bodywork turned out. I just hope Paul's going to be happy with it. It turned out really nice right here. I was kind of worried about what was going to happen here, but it all looks very good. And I've got it all blocked out and ready for paint. So now all we have to do is fix that bumper in the morning and then, you know, get it in the booth and get this thing painted. But I'm hoping that I can get my M3 parts painted before this thing, because Paul can't be getting his car done faster than me, you know?
Right.
Might even have to like unplug some things, that way it doesn't run, you know? That way I can get my car done. No, I'm kidding, I'd never do that. We're gonna get this thing knocked out and get it back on the road, because he needs to get rid of his truck. So he needs to get this thing ASAP. That's why we're trying to hustle as much as we can on it. But let's go over there and check out what's going on with that clapped out Sentra. All right.
Come on now.
How's it look?
Dude, it's looking beautiful. I mean, I haven't really seen much. I just took a gander back here. Ooh, AC compressor's broken. Is it?
Just the sensor. So Mark got the radiators off, and the only really thing that surprised us is, well, I can't say it surprised us. I mean, we were expecting more.
worse.
Yeah, but it's just the sensor. It's the pressure sensor that senses how much pressure the AC compressor has. And it is kind of a non-replaceable piece because it is epoxied in there. So he may end up having to replace that entire compressor. But other than that, I don't see anything.
I'd rather replace a compressor than a motor.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, this was fun, but we have to go. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed the content, hit that like button. And if you guys wanna see this clapped out Sentra get done, hit that subscribe button. And also check us out on where?
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram at 23rd_garage. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.
And MySpace.